On June 9, 2026, the FDA made a landmark announcement that sent shockwaves through the skincare and dermatology world. For the first time in over 25 years, the agency authorized a new chemical UV filter for use in sunscreen products in the United States. The compound is called Bemotrizinol, and it represents a significant advance in topical sun protection, offering broad-spectrum UVA and UVB coverage without the photodegradation that causes many existing filters to lose effectiveness under heat and prolonged sun exposure. The headlines have been enormous and the consumer response has been immediate. Millions of people are rushing to find products containing the new ingredient, and the conversation around sun protection, UV damage, and skin aging is dominating wellness feeds across every platform this week. But there is a critical piece of biology that the FDA news coverage is almost universally leaving out. And missing it means that even people who religiously apply the best topical sunscreen available are still experiencing accelerated skin aging from a mechanism that no cream applied to the surface of your skin can reach. The mechanism is called UV-Induced Mitochondrial Photo-Aging, and understanding it changes everything about how you approach summer skin protection. When UV radiation, particularly UVA rays which penetrate far more deeply into skin tissue than UVB, hits unprotected or inadequately protected skin, it does not limit its damage to the epidermis. UVA photons have the wavelength to penetrate through the epidermis into the dermis, the deeper layer of skin where your collagen-producing fibroblasts and blood vessels live. In the dermal layer, those UV photons interact with cellular chromophores, light-absorbing molecules, and trigger the generation of reactive oxygen species. These free radicals are extraordinarily destructive at the cellular level, and they do not confine their damage to proteins and lipids on the cell surface. They penetrate into the cell interior and target mitochondrial DNA, the genetic material inside your skin cell mitochondria that encodes the proteins required for energy production. Mitochondrial DNA is particularly vulnerable to UV-induced oxidative damage for two reasons. First, it lacks the robust repair mechanisms that protect nuclear DNA. Second, it is located in close proximity to the inner mitochondrial membrane, where the reactive oxygen species generated by UV exposure are produced at highest concentration. The result is that UV radiation causes disproportionate and cumulative damage to mitochondrial DNA in dermal skin cells, degrading the mitochondria's ability to produce ATP over time with each sun exposure that is not completely neutralized at the cellular level. The collagen collapse that follows this mitochondrial damage is the direct biological mechanism behind photoaging, the UV-driven skin aging that produces deep wrinkles, loss of firmness, uneven texture, and the visible signs of sun-damaged skin that no topical treatment can fully reverse once the underlying cellular damage has accumulated. Your skin fibroblasts, the specialized cells that synthesize collagen and elastin, are extraordinarily energy-intensive in their operation. The collagen synthesis process requires continuous high-output ATP production from functional mitochondria. When UV exposure damages the mitochondrial DNA in your fibroblasts, and their ADP production capacity falls below the threshold required to sustain collagen synthesis, those cells begin producing less collagen. The structural scaffolding of your skin progressively weakens. The elasticity that gives young skin its resilience diminishes. And the visible aging that people associate with sun exposure over years and decades accumulates, not primarily because of surface keratinocyte damage, but because of the progressive mitochondrial collapse in the deeper dermal fibroblasts that are responsible for maintaining skin architecture. This is the photoaging mechanism that topical sunscreen cannot address. Bemotrizinol is a genuine advance in surface UV filtration. It blocks more UV photons from reaching the skin, and it maintains that blocking efficiency longer under real-world sun exposure conditions than previous generation filters. Applied correctly and consistently, it reduces the UV dose reaching your skin cells significantly. But it does not eliminate UV exposure entirely, and it does not repair the mitochondrial DNA damage that has already accumulated from years of cumulative sun exposure. For anyone over 35 who has spent significant time in the sun, the mitochondrial aging burden in their dermal fibroblasts is already a factor in their skin's collagen production capacity, regardless of how diligently they apply sunscreen going forward. The internal protection approach addresses what topical sunscreen cannot reach. CoQ10 is a fat-soluble antioxidant that integrates directly into the lipid environment of cell membranes, including the inner mitochondrial membrane of dermal fibroblasts. When CoQ10 is present at adequate concentrations inside skin cell mitochondria, it neutralizes the reactive oxygen species generated by UV exposure before those species can reach and damage mitochondrial DNA. This is direct antioxidant protection at the precise cellular location where UV-induced photoaging begins, inside the mitochondria of your skin cells, rather than on the surface of your epidermis. PQQ activates mitochondrial biogenesis in dermal tissue, triggering the growth of new mitochondria with intact undamaged DNA that have not been exposed to the cumulative UV oxidative burden that has degraded the fibroblast mitochondria already present. New mitochondria and skin fibroblasts produce ATP at full capacity, restoring the energy output required for robust collagen and elastin synthesis. They rebuild the structural protein manufacturing that UV-induced mitochondrial aging had been progressively shutting down. Mitolyn combines CoQ10 and PQQ in one formula built around this internal UV protection principle. Apply your topical sunscreen diligently. The new generation filters are a genuine advance in surface protection matters. But do not make the mistake of believing that surface protection alone addresses the internal cellular damage that UV radiation has been causing in your dermal fibroblasts every summer. Protect from the outside, shield from the inside, and give your skin cells the mitochondrial infrastructure to maintain the collagen production that keeps your skin looking genuinely healthy rather than just surface protected. I want to be fully transparent with you. The link in my description is an affiliate link. I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only share what I genuinely think is helpful. Protect your skin from the inside out. Check the link in my description for the 2026 Mitolyn Internal UV Shield Protocol. And if you want cutting-edge cellular health content every single day, hit subscribe. We post every morning. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle.